Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Randesha, or Randy for short, and I make budget planning and organization videos. So if that interests you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. So in this video, we are closing out my January 2020 budget. So I'm just going to take you through the process, some things that I look at and think about, and just try to prepare to be better set up for my February budget. So one of the things that I do to close out my budget is I look at my monthly calendar and I make sure that everything is checked off. So if I didn't check it off, that means it may or may not have been paid. So I need to look into it. So everything, I have started to track my like bigger purchases, my bigger unplanned purchases in my budget. Typically, I don't do that, but I am trying to be more cognizant of how we're spending our money. And I have pretty much started tracking like the food that we're spending. So that's why I have this Costco right here, because it's large and it's half of it is probably food. The other half is, I don't know, decor or something. But anyways, I did note that there. So all of that is checked off. Everything here is checked off. So check-in fee, got that, all that, all that, that, there, then all this. Okay, this Norton desktop has not been checked off. So I do remember this. I didn't check it off because I wanted to catch this because I am not paying this off in January. This, I wasn't sure where this was going to be charged, whether it was our Sapphire card or our debit account, or my husband has a credit card. So I wasn't sure. But come to find out, the charge is still on his credit card. So I asked him to move it to our checking account so that, next year I'll see it. So I didn't know where it was. So I wasn't able to see when it got paid. So I couldn't properly like cash flow it. So I'm like, cause I thought that this was like, I made a mistake in the due date and it was going to be due later, but come to find out it is due in January. So the money that I had allocated in this week four's budget to this, I had used for something else. So now I need to move this to next month's budget. And what I'm going to do is I want to turn to my notes, and I'm going to make sure that in the next month section, I have a note to pay that. So it looks like I don't have a note. So I'm going to write it down here at the very bottom: to pay Norton $119.99. Okay. So I'm going to leave it unchecked on my monthly calendar because I did not pay it in January. So I'm not going to check it off. And then this healthcare, this was an unexpected expense. So I just wrote it on there and I did pay it. So that's that. And then we need to do basically like transfers and stuff for this paycheck. So, because today is Friday when I'm recording this, and I got paid. So I need to do my usual transfer for our gas money, childcare, groceries, and diapers to their respective digital cash envelopes. And we use checking accounts, a combination of checking and saving accounts in order to transfer the funds from our main account to these accounts. And then that's the way we do it. So I'm going to check my account right now to make sure that we transferred the money, because I do some stuff automatically, like without thinking like, oh, I need to record that and show that to you guys. So let me see if I transferred the money. It looks like I haven't done any of my transfers. So let me explain to you really quick, because this is a special pay period because we do get paid 5 times. But not only do we get paid 5 times, the first falls on a Saturday. So basically, when the mortgage falls on the very next day after we get paid, I kind of treat them I kind of treat those 2 days as one and the same, because what we do is we take that entire paycheck and we put it towards our mortgage. But our check does not cover the full entire mortgage. So there is a small amount of our mortgage that we need to pay, plus the rest of the expenses for the next couple of days until our next paycheck. So let me bring my February calendar so you guys can get a sense of what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's easier to show you what I'm talking about with like the 2 months. So this is my February budget. I haven't set it up yet, but the dates are correct. So when, let me move it. So when these two, well, this is just no bueno. So what I did in my February budget is I moved it up to a Monday start date into, unlike the Sunday start date. So just kind of work with me here. So basically, let me scooch it over just a bit. So you got the 31st, and then on Saturday, you have the 1st. So basically, on the 31st, we get paid. On the 1st, our mortgage is due. So our mortgage isn't going to be withdrawn from our account until the next business day, typically. So until the 4th. But the 4th, we have we have the mortgage to pay, and we have basically all of our monthly regular expenses from the 4th to the 7th to pay, as well as gas, childcare, groceries, and diapers. These are our like 4-wall and regular, just run of the mill expenses. So it's nothing extra, nothing like that. So if you look at my January budget, so what I say from the 31st up to the 7th. So that means for February, we need to pay for anything that comes out from the 1st to the 7th, because from the 1st to the 6th, I keep forgetting I moved this calendar, because our next payday isn't until the 7th. So I look at my January calendar, or whatever current calendar I'm in, and I look from the 1st to the 6th, what is coming out. So like from our normal, regular monthly expenses. So I can see that our mortgage is due on the 1st. Vivint and Citizen One is also due on the 1st. I'm going to ignore this Costco because we don't go to Costco on the 2nd of every month. That's not a regular bill. So every Friday we have gas, childcare, groceries, and diapers that come out. These two are not regular monthly bills, so I'm going to ignore them. Hulu comes out on the 4th. So I'm going to do Hulu, and then I'm going to ignore these because these are not regular bills. Those are like our fund money for our cash envelopes. And then on the 5th, this is my life insurance. So that's a regular monthly bill. So I'm going to count that. And then nothing on the 6th. And I'm going to stop on the 6th because in February, we get paid on the 7th. So from the 1st to the 6th, the expenses that I just said are what I have to pay on top of our mortgage. So this check is going to be eaten up by our mortgage, but we still have all of those things that I said in order to pay. So what we do is we use this whole entire check to put towards the mortgage. That way we can use more money from these other 4 checks in order to do stuff during the month, or like fund savings accounts and stuff like that. So basically with this check, we're getting ahead of our next month's expenses. So typically in a typical month, so say like in January, the 1st fell on a Wednesday. With the mortgage falling later in the week, that means we only have, because we got paid this Friday, we only had Wednesday and Thursday, the 1st and the 2nd, to cover, because those were the days between the first day that we got paid and then the last day of the previous month. So we're only covering these expenses. In February, my rollover only needs to cover the 1st to the 6th. So I hope you guys get that. So yeah, so that's why I need to transfer this money right now. And let me go ahead and do that. So this transfer is going to be, for gas is $90. Childcare is $320 a week. Groceries, we budget $100 a week. And then diapers, we budget $55 a week. And that comes to $565. And I'm going to transfer that to each one of their respective accounts. Okay, so I made those transfers. So gas, childcare, groceries, and diapers, I can check off. So everything is pretty much accounted for on this monthly calendar. So I'm going to move my February budget out of the way so we can continue with closing out January. Okay, so that's that on that page. I'm not going to do anything to this page because this is basically a reference page. This is my digital cash envelopes page where basically I write down the monthly amounts that me and my husband agreed on so that I know that like to fund those accounts and schedule these items on my monthly calendar when I'm setting it up. So after I do this page and I put all of these items on my monthly calendar, I don't do anything to close this out because like I said, it's just a reference page. So this is just a half sheet of all of the tax documents that we're expecting for 2019. So that's just a reference page too. And, you know, after we pay our taxes, that half sheet will be taken out and not put back in until the next year. And then right here, I update this throughout the month so I can keep track of it. This right here is my sinking funds distribution section, and this section is my sinking funds section. So this is where money goes out of the sinking fund, and this is where money goes into the sinking funds. Okay, so basically in the month of January, we had already made a extra debt payment to our Costco card. So we had paid $938.89, which brought our balance for our like this balance right here. It brought it down to 1,742.88. And then we also my car got an oil change, and that was $68.08. And then that brought this total in our sinking funds from $200 down to $131.92. So I hope you guys understand like how I use these two sections together. At the beginning of the month, this is the total in our sinking funds, and these amounts are basically what I've allocated from our sinking funds to these different categories. This section right here is basically saying this is how much I would like to put into our sinking funds if we have extra money. But the thing is I literally just made a large debt payment. We made another debt payment, and we basically paid off the card. If you didn't watch that video, then go ahead and watch it after this one. And we paid $5,109.16, which basically left our sinking funds account on empty. It is gone. It is all gone. And I'm low key freaking out because I hate when I don't have, I'm affected by balances. And when I see a zero balance, I'm just like, what the heck? I'm like low key, almost in panic mode. But the thing is we do have a emergency fund. And then we do have a short-term emergency fund where we keep $1,000 in it to catch any mistakes, like minor mistakes or mishaps or things that might occur in our daily lives, so that we don't have to touch our larger emergency fund. So I've nicknamed our short-term $1,000 emergency fund. I've nicknamed it Murphy, and that's what I like to call this budget, our Murphy budget. So anyways, yes. So this $1,000 that we were going to put in our sinking funds, that is a big fat zero. So this whole section, all of our sinking funds, I'm just going to ignore it. And over here, I'm just going to put zero because our sinking funds is zero. So when I go to set up my February budget, I'm still going to write these categories, but the beginning balance is going to be zero because the ending balance of January is zero. So I hope you understand that. So right here was our February roll that we put on the monthly calendar. So nothing to do there. And then right here is my unplanned / planned expenses. So what you would normally see in like debt, what am I saying? In budget with me videos, you would probably see other people call this like their transaction log or their weekly expenses tracker or something like that. I call mine planned / unplanned expenses because there are things that month that you know about that you know that you're going to do. So you might as well write it down. I like to write mine down right here, just in case they get canceled, then I can go ahead and see that like clearly see that event was canceled and that I have extra money to spend during the week. And then underneath it, which is where you see all of these zeros, is all of our unplanned expenses. So there were quite a few this month. Typically, there's not this many. So we signed up for the Walmart Delivery Unlimited service where they deliver groceries to us as many times as we want with no minimum purchase amount. And we paid for a subscription for a year and it was $98. So it's been great so far. Like not having to go to the grocery store and all I got to do is help them take the bags out of their car and then take them to my kitchen has been just unbelievable. Unbelievably helpful. So we signed up for that. And then me and my husband went on a lunch date this month to Olive Garden. And then again, I'm tracking our Costco purchases because Costco gets me every time I go in there for, some deli meat and a rotisserie chicken, and I come out with like $600 worth of expenses. It happens every single time. So I'm trying to track that and do better about that. But that's what we spent in January. For I have added getting my hair done to the monthly budget. Yeah, more on that later. But basically, I just want to start getting it done again. I just want to slowly increase our beauty envelope so that I can get my hair and my nails done again every month. So yeah, that's that. And then these are the Hamilton tickets I was telling you about earlier that we paid $435 for. I don't regret it. I put it on a credit card. It increased our balance that's already high, but do I regret it? No, I do not, because you need to live. You only live once. YOLO. So that's that. And then I just literally purchased this calligraphy practice course thing. So I want to start getting into calligraphy. It was one of my 2019 goals, but I never did it. So I'm just bringing it into 2020 and I'm going to practice calligraphy on my iPad. I might do, like document my journey on IG. So if you want to follow that, I'll let you guys know if and when I start doing that. So go follow me on Instagram. My handle is Randy for short, the same as my YouTube name. So let's go ahead and add this up because I'm kind of curious to see how much we actually spent for our planned / unplanned expenses. Okay, so let me turn this. So Go Wild, I actually decided to go. So that ticket plus the processing fees and everything Why do I only have $5? It was definitely not $5. It was $549. And then I did put that on our Costco card that we just paid off. So that is paid in full. These two birthday dinners did not happen. So that money went back into our sinking funds. And then the daycare fee, we did get that paid. The Norton desktop, we're going to pay that next month. So that's why there's no check right here to say it was funded. So if you haven't watched my budget videos before, this is what I budgeted for the month, the name of the event, what we actually spent. And then this column is whether we funded that expense or not. So funded means basically, did we put the money in the account? Is it readily available to pay for this item? That's what funded. That's what I mean by funded. So once I put that money in our planned expenses account, because this is in its own account, then I'll go ahead and I'll check it off. But since I did not put that money in our planned expenses account, it is not checked off. So that means this item I need to move over to our February budget to pay for in February. Okay, so this bike is a very, very late Christmas gift for my godson. I just literally ordered it because I'm like, I refuse to roll that over to February, and I've had the money for like all of January. So I've just been lazy. I'm a very bad godparent. I know. So anyways, family fun / date night. I budgeted 30 and I put 30 in the account. Sorry, actually, this is not supposed to be here. I had originally put that, noted this on here because with the checking account that we have at Chase, we can open up as many savings accounts that we want to without a fee, like a monthly fee, and we can open 9 checking accounts without a monthly fee. So in total, we would have, I don't know if it's 9 plus the special checking account. I think it's because the checking account we have that gives us these benefits is called the Sapphire checking account. But I don't know if it counts the Sapphire account plus 9 accounts, or in total you can have 9 checking accounts. That's something I need to look into. But if you're interested in the Sapphire checking account, I do recommend it. That's how I'm able to put each of my cash envelopes and unplanned expenses and stuff into its own checking account. So, yeah, so I put that money in the planned expenses because I didn't have a savings account open for family fun / date night money, like cash envelope thing. So that's why I put it on there. So it's technically not supposed to be on there. And then, so I just went over all of those. I got totally distracted and I was supposed to be adding all this up. So 549 plus 100 plus 1. Nope, I'm not going to do 119 because that did not come out. And then the bike did come out. Plus Walmart is 98, and then 90.5, 471, 76, 40, and 434 spot 55 plus 69 spot 50 equals a whole lot of money. 1,958 spot 91. If you subtract what we budgeted, which was 429 spot 99, that equals we were over by basically 15 why am I here saying 15 and writing 1,100? $1,529 basically if you round up. Why can I not write? 1528 spot 92. Okay, so that is the amount that we were over in our planned, unplanned expenses. But, you know, we'll do better next month. I'm not going to beat myself up because I think the purchases we made were definitely worth it. So sorry, not sorry. Okay. So that's that. So that is what I do to close out my January budget. Move anything that's not paid, move it over to February. Make sure everything on this monthly calendar is checked off and paid for. And then I close out our sinking funds so that I can move it over to the February budget sinking funds and then do that. And then the next thing that I do is go over my notes so that specifically the next month's budget, so that I transfer these notes to the different areas of my February budget. And then I transfer this March rollover. I put this section right here on this page in February's budget, because I need to know how much we need to roll over in the month of February in order to fund the first couple of days of March, which includes our mortgage. So our first week of March won't be as tight because we need to spend basically our whole check on the mortgage. So let's see. So that's where this section goes. And then just to tell you what I'm going to be doing differently in the February budget, I want to start putting the confirmation numbers for like when I do a manual payment. I want to start putting those confirmation numbers on the sidebar. So I'm going to switch this up. This full box sticker will probably not be there. So we'll see about that. And then I want to start tracking our PTO / unpaid days, like in the notes section. And then what I want to do is right here, this is a weekly expense tracker. Let me grab it really quick so I can show you guys. So the thought that I had was to use this sticker right here, this weekly spending sticker, to put that in the sidebar so that when I go to add up like the paycheck amount minus the expenses, I want to write down for that week how much money we have left over for that week. So I want to do it for each week. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for February, but there was 5 weeks in January. So so I want to put that amount right here so I know how much I'm working with that's left over, because that is potential savings or it's potential money to cover an unexpected expense for the month of February. So that's why I want to write it down here. But what'll also be awesome is that not only will I have the amount that was left over from that check, right here in the weekly, every Thursday, I write down how much money we are actually transferring to our sinking funds, because this money right here is potential savings into our sinking funds. And then this right here, every week, I'm writing what we actually did. So I'll be able to compare these two and then see like how we're doing. If these two numbers don't match, then that means we spent unplanned money that week. And then we can see how much it was week by week. And then as the time goes on, maybe like hopefully I'll be able to see like a trend of, when are we spending unplanned expenses? And then I can go back and see what was going on that week in order to maybe like hopefully notice a pattern of like why we're spending unexpected money. So they're here in the budget accessory book. And then, and these are sticky notes, not stickers. And then the actual come on now. Come on. The actual stickers in the budget value pack are right here, this page. So you get 2 pages of them. So yeah. it should last you a while if you're using them specifically every month in your sidebar. So, and then when those are up, I plan to, like when the stickers are used up, I plan to use, let's see. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else in the accessory book. Let's see if there's anything else that could replace it. But I mean, if you got both, it doesn't really matter because you can use the weekly expense sticky notes in the accessory book and you could just glue them down and then make them actually become stickers and not sticky notes. But if you only have the budget sticker book, then let's see, is there an alternative? Just in case you want to stick with the rainbow theme. That's why I'm like looking for an alternative. I don't see an alternative once you run out of the stickers. So once you run out of these stickers, you'll probably have to use like a lined full box in order to keep this up for the remaining months of 2020 if you do this idea. But I mean, it's no big deal. You just have to write like one through 4 or 1 through 5, depending on how many weeks there are in that month, and then put your total at the bottom. And then, I mean, it's the same exact thing. So yeah, don't run out and get the accessory book because you want to use the weekly expenses. Like, no, to me, that's not a good reason to buy a whole nother sticker book. But I mean, if you're a sticker collector, then own it and go get this this budget accessory book because it is the GOAT. So, oh, and that means greatest of all time for those of you who don't know what I just said, because I know some of you are older. So, I mean, according to my analytics. So you may not have known what that was. So yeah. Let's see. What else are we trying for the month of February? I think the last thing I'm going to do, there's 2 things. This notes page, I'm going to reorder the way in which I set this up. So right now it's set up as this month to try/update, and then next month. And then right here is the month after next rollover. And then this right here is like any notes for a pay period. So like if a pay period is going to be less than expected, more than expected, are we getting a bonus? Are we getting a raise? Like I'm leaving notes right here in this section. So I want to reorder this section in February where, as you can see, my to try and update, because this is a new layout, I have more notes than usual. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this month, next month, and then to try/update. And then I'm going to move the March row because I thought I was going to decorate this page, but I'm really not. I'm going to move the March row up, and then I'm going to give myself more space to write notes for the different paychecks, the different pay periods in February. So that's going to be this page. And then I decided to use this currently, or whatever we're calling this page when it's not actually a currently page. I'm going to use this page as like a monthly review and just write down different things. Like this section is any changes that we're going to make to our budget. So like in this don't forget section, I put that I need to increase our natural gas to $145, like our budget to $145 in the winter, because we got that bill and it was $100 more than I was expecting. So I was going off of the numbers that we were using at our condo, which was a 2-bath condo, but now we're in a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house. So I don't know why I was budgeting only $30 for, that's actually laughable when I say it out loud, but I only budgeted $30 based on the condo. So I didn't know what the gas was going to be. I knew it was going to be higher, but I didn't think it was going to be this damn high. Like, shoot, price is way too high. You need to cut it. But anyways, the next one is that I'm adding $50 to the monthly budget for beauty for my hair and eyebrows. And then we are adding $20 every week for my husband to give breakfast before he goes to school, because he goes from work straight to school. So he doesn't have time to come home or, stuff like that. So he goes straight from work to school, and he's going to start picking up breakfast on the way. So he'll have something to eat. And then right here, unexpected spends. I'm basically using this as like a wish list for next month's budget, because my husband told me that he wanted a smartwatch. But I was making a note of it right here to see if we could fit it in next month's budget, but we're not going to be able to. You'll see once we get to that month. But I also wanted this gray backpack that I saw on Amazon for like the springtime. So we'll see about that. And then this right here is where I'm making notes of what was over budget and what was under budget. So again, the natural gas was $102.70 over. I spent money on Go Wild. I spent $549 in order to get a Go Wild ticket. That was over budget because I didn't budget for it. And I knew about it or whatever, but I didn't budget for it because I didn't know if I was going. So we're $549 over budget. And then I bought those Hamilton tickets for my birthday in July. Yes, my birthday is in July. But if you know anything about Hamilton, those tickets will be every bit of $400 the closer to the event date it gets. So maybe not, because Hamilton's been out a while now, so there's less demand for it, but I wasn't taking any chances. And then our Costco credit card, I can write it in here, $549. Hamilton tickets was like $434 and some change, but I'm gonna just round up and put $435. We went to Costco and I spent $471 and some change, but I'm gonna round it up to $472. And then I went and got my hair braided. I did a wig braid up. So we did that. So that and a trim cost $45. And then Norton desktop, I was expecting it to be $109.99, but it turned out to be $119.99. So it was $10 over. So this is where I'm writing, just highlighting what was over and under budget for us. So if you add all of this together, this roughly equals the amount of what we was over in our unplanned expenses. So I'm kind of just like extra highlighting it, like those specific items, by putting it in this section. And then again, this is the debt tracker. So that is how I close out my monthly budget. So now that you got all the details, then the next closeouts will be faster, because every budget video, I'm going to go less and less into details because, I'm assuming you guys are familiar with how I budget. So I'll be, explaining less and less every video, like my process and just actually doing it. But I get new subscribers every day, and I don't know like where you guys are coming in at. I don't know if you watched some videos before subscribing. So I'm just trying to give more detail as like my channel is new, but as time goes on, like I said, you guys will be familiar. So I will feel less of a need to explain because of all the new subscribers that are coming in. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this budget closeout video, and hit that like button if you did. If you want to see more of my videos, I link every budget video down in my budget playlist. So check the description box for that, and hit subscribe if you want to see more budget videos, and click that notification bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. And share this with somebody that you think might find it helpful or that might like it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.